It's been a week in crypto. Is Bitcoin getting ready for a breakout or a breakdown? On today's episode of Token Trader TV, we'll look at the Web3 headlines that are affecting the market, take a look at some of the charts of the top moving tokens, learn about how the psychology of losing can make you into a better trader, and learn about one of the best leading indicators to predict price movement. But first, a disclaimer. I am an amateur. This is not advice. It is entertainment. Do your own research. Make good choices. Wipe your own nose. The only reason I'm making these videos is because I want to teach my kids about how to trade cryptocurrency tokens for a profit. If you'd like to learn with us, come along. Bitcoin's had some great price movement this week, breaking above $38,000 3 times. But the big news this week was that CZ, the CEO of Binance, has stepped down. Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, was under investigation by the SEC for a number of things. And he agreed to pay $150 million bail to stay out of jail. And Binance is paying $4 billion in fines to avoid criminal charges. He wrote this great message on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, introducing the new CEO, Richard Tang, and talking about his experience at Binance. But I really like this article from Cointelegraph that talked about why Binance's U.S. plea deal could be positive for crypto adoption. And their perspective is that U.S. regulators needed to crack down on Binance first before they could open up the floodgates and let U.S. retail investors through, because they needed oversight that they didn't have. They quoted Yesha Yadav, who is a professor of law and associate dean at Vanderbilt University Law School. He said that this will bring some systemic oversight to Binance by virtue of a monitorship agreement, signaling the end of an era where the exchange has been able to operate in a relatively borderless way, without headquarters and seemingly without a major domestic regulator. Now, this monitorship agreement that he's referring to, this is what Binance agreed to, that the SEC could look at their books and monitor their transactions, and they have full access. As far as I know, it's full access to everything that Binance does. And this gives the SEC the oversight and regulation that they may have been wanting before allowing U.S. investors to go into crypto. The price action in Bitcoin caused a lot of liquidations. The block reports that Bitcoin price spikes caused $29 million in short liquidations. A lot of traders were short, and they had their stop loss set at $38,000. And every time Bitcoin spiked above $38,000, all of those shorts got liquidated. But there was a lot of accumulation happening. That might be why the price kept moving up. Going Parabolic on X shared that a mystery whale kept up its daily buying streak, acquiring 539 Bitcoin on the day he posted this tweet, following the accumulation of 1,178 yesterday. Over the past 28 days, he says, this whale has accumulated 10,000 Bitcoin, propelling them to number 73 on the Bitcoin rich list. Could you imagine having 10,000 Bitcoin right now? Whew, that's a big wallet. Trader XM had a good price prediction that I wanted to share. He said there's 3 stages. Number 1, Bitcoin will pump to $48,000 when the ETF gets approved. And you can see in his chart here that $48,000 is a layer of resistance back from early 2022. Then he says it will retrace to 33,000 and then go on to reach all-time highs. So if you're feeling like you missed the boat, you might want to keep some dry powder in reserve to buy Bitcoin at $33,000. It may go down that far. It may not. I don't know. I'm just a dude on the internet. In other news, Forbes has published another 30 under 30 list of finance leaders. And this time they had 14 of these 30 that were involved in blockchain or cryptocurrency in some way. And their list is a lagging indicator. They now have Sam Bankman-Fried, who was a previous member of their 30 under 30 with Caroline Ellison and Cathie Wood and other disgraced crypto luminaries. They've now reached a Hall of Shame list. Forbes has probably realized that a lot of the people they were naming to their 30 under 30 are now in jail. And so now they put together this Hall of Shame list to connect them together. And this is a lagging indicator. Now, if you don't know the difference between leading indicators and lagging indicators, we're going to talk about leading indicators in the education segment at the end of today's episode. But I want to highlight what LearnCrypto.com says about leading and lagging indicators. LearnCrypto.com has a lot of basic tutorials, and if you're confused about some of the basics of crypto, this is a great wiki to surf through. And what they say here is that a leading indicator points at where a price might be going, while a lagging indicator confirms patterns in price once they have formed. So you can think of a leading indicator as looking in the windshield of your car at what's coming towards you, while a lagging indicator is the rearview mirror, and it helps you see what's behind you. Some of the indicators that you can use in TradingView are leading indicators, and some are lagging indicators. And I'll share with you one of the best leading indicators in just a few minutes. But first, I want to share with you this unlock schedule. This is a leading indicator that was posted by Wasey Time 1, Alex Wasey over on X, and he listed the largest token unlocks in December. These token unlocks are coming up, and each one of these tokens is going to unlock a number of tokens that people who are holding those tokens can now sell. So there are a lot of people who are holding Immutable X and 1inch and SUI and the other tokens on this list that will suddenly be able to sell them in December. And that could put selling pressure on the price. So if you are holding any of these tokens, selling them now and buying, you may be able to buy them back in January for cheaper. But I don't know anything. I'm just a dude on the internet. Now let's look at the charts. This is a Bitcoin on the daily chart. And I published this idea on TradingView. If you're on TradingView, you can follow me at TokenTraderTV. If you're not on TradingView, then you can go to tokentrader.tv/TradingView to get $15 in credit towards your next plan. It's an easy way to support this channel if you use my link to get yourself set up on TradingView. And this is an idea I published. It was a couple days ago, so I'm going to hit the play button to go since then. And if you notice, these two lines, the upsloping support line and the horizontal resistance line, they're forming a wedge pattern. And this wedge pattern has to break by December the 8th. We're either going to have a breakout going up or a breakdown going lower. Those are the only two options. So these are such strong lines that when Bitcoin finally does close and confirm outside of these lines, we're probably going to see a dramatic move in whichever direction it goes. XRP had some great movement this week. This is another idea I published on TradingView. Be sure and follow me at TokenTraderTV. This is a descending wedge pattern. XRP was having lower highs and lower lows, and then it broke out of this pattern. And it closed outside of it and confirmed. The first candle is when it closed outside of the pattern. And that second candle, that's when it confirmed. We often look for confirmation in trading before deciding that our hypothesis is correct. I published this a couple of days ago, and you can see that it's still outside of this descending pattern. I was expecting it to go back to this line of resistance. Used to be a line of resistance, now it's a line of support. I was expecting it to retrace all the way down there. And so I had a long that never triggered. You win some, you lose some. That was one that I lost. I didn't lose, I just didn't get into the trade. So I also published this third idea on TradingView at TokenTraderTV, go follow me there, on Solana's price target. Solana's been on a tear lately, and this is the monthly chart. The last 2 months have been great, and this month it closed above this red line, this 200-day moving average, and this it's 200-month moving average, and it's closed above it. And if it's going to keep going up, it's going to hit resistance eventually. And the best resistance I could find was this low candle back here in February of 2022, 18 months ago. It closed at a low of $75, retraced higher, came all the way back through. And if it's going to go back up, for my money, I think it'll go to $75 and then bounce back. So I'm going to close some longs at $75 and maybe even do some shorts. The rest of the market has been kind of waiting on Bitcoin. I'm here on the daily chart on Ethereum, and you can see that it's stuck in this horizontal pattern. The high is around 2140 and the low is down at 1915. I think it's waiting on Bitcoin to make a move. If Bitcoin's going to go up, Ethereum is likely going to go up. If Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum's likely going to go down. They're so coupled right now, I don't think that we're going to see them go in different directions. But we could see BNB go in a different direction. You could see this big red candle on the day that the Binance news broke, and now it's continuing to stay low. It's got some serious support here at about 225. It may hold this and go up, but if it breaks 225, we could see a big downtrend. Lots of people moved their tokens off of Binance after this news broke, and so if that continues, the BNB token may suffer as well. Link has been doing some interesting action. It's been staying really low, which is odd compared to the amount of volume and the size of the candlesticks that it had a couple of weeks ago. And so I've noticed this wedge pattern that it's stuck in. Can't even see the candles. The price action is moving so low. So this tells me that, if you look at these volume bars down at the bottom, people aren't trading this right now. The holders are holding, and a lot of speculators are staying out because they don't know which way it's going to go. So this might be a leading indicator. It might be Link first and then Bitcoin. Who knows? And this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. Now, if you follow me on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts, you may have seen my my Bitcoin dominance video where I explain about how you can use this to predict altcoin season. And we can see that Bitcoin dominance went way up over the last few days. This means that there's more Bitcoin in the market and less altcoins. But it's now at the top of the Bollinger Bands. We might see this retrace, which might mean we're going to see more positive gains in altcoins over the next couple of days than we do in Bitcoin. So now let's listen to another stranger on the internet talk about losing money in crypto.
How much have you lost in one day?
I think I lost around most in a single trade, probably around $60,000. I think losing was probably one of the best things. Losing trades, I think, are a gift in disguise because it gives you more awareness of what you have to do and what to solve your mistakes, and also gives you the right mentality, because most of these people who've never lost cryptocurrency or lost trades before and they're getting to cryptocurrency new, when they see their coins have dipped 20%, they're panicking. However, people who are already experienced with this, they know it's nothing new. It's just at the same time, it is quick dopamine. That's the reason why people get into cryptocurrencies. For financial incentive, yes, but at the same time, the feeling you get once you make those gains is not comparable to anything else. The best thing I think about stocks and cryptocurrency is your work pays off. You do an hours of research on some coins, you talk to different people, you hold them for a while, and then when you see that green percentage number and you see that the coins are up, it's that feeling you get like your hard work has paid off. And that's what I like about cryptocurrency, is because yes, cryptocurrency can change people's lives, but also it's a feeling you get like you've actually accomplished something.
So this crypto millionaire touches on two important topics. And the first is the psychology of losing. And losing is often referred to as tuition. It's how you become a better trader. You got to pay that tuition to the school of the market, and it'll teach you lessons that you can't really learn any other way. But they mentioned something else that I thought was important, is the dopamine hits. And that dopamine of winning a trade is really exciting. And I found a tweet that I want to share with you from Bob Lucas. He said the sad truth is probably something like 50% of crypto Twitter has a gambling problem that they don't want to acknowledge. And it ends badly for 98% of them. I know from early experience, at some point you're forced to confront. The sooner you do, the closer you come to freedom. I've noticed in my own psychology that there's definitely an overlap between the high of gambling and the excitement of winning a trade. And so when you're trading, look at yourself psychologically. Are you acting as a gambler or as a dispassionate scientist who's implementing a method? Are you engaging with your trades intellectually or emotionally? Because if you're trading as a gambler, you're subject to all the difficulties of gamblers. But if you're trading as a scientist, you can avoid a lot of those difficulties and make intelligent decisions. Now I want to show you one of the best leading indicators that you can use to predict price movement, and that is the RSI. The RSI, here I've got a couple of these down here. This is the MACD, is the one with the bars and the lines. I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And I'm going to make this bottom indicator really big. This is the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. And if you notice, there are these purple bands, and then there's a purple line and a yellow line. The yellow line is the moving average. It's the average of the last however long, I've got it set to 14 days, of the RSI. And the relative strength index is a measurement of how overbought and oversold an asset is. So when Bitcoin had this big run up, right? It had this huge candle on the 23rd of October. The RSI went really high. It crossed this threshold of 70 where it went out of the purple area. And you see how it's green here? What this means is that it's overbought. There's way too many people who own it, and that it's likely to go down. And then we hit this critical point where the purple line crossed the yellow line, and that's called a death cross. When you see a death cross, it means that the price is likely to go down. Not that it will go down every time, but the probabilities favor it. And then here we have a golden cross. This candle on the 8th of November, it's just a normal little candle, but then the candle right after that was big. And the candle after that was pretty big too. But the RSI it was still very overbought. It was at 84. The highest it can go is 100. Eventually, if price keeps going up, some people who own that asset are going to say, you know what? This is such a big profit. I have to sell and take some gains. Statistically, people will do that when the RSI is so high. And then we had this death cross here on the 12th of November, and look how low we went. The wick went all the way down to 34,500. And so the RSI is often used as a leading indicator to predict which way price is going to go. If it's below 30, that means that the asset is likely oversold and the price is likely to go up. If it's over 70, the asset is likely overbought and it's likely to go down. And then you can use the death cross and the golden cross in order to predict which direction the token's going to go. Thanks for watching another episode of Token Trader TV. If you liked this video, then subscribe to my channel and leave a comment with an answer to this question. Is Bitcoin preparing for a breakout or a breakdown? I'd like to know your prediction. Leave it in the comments, and if you get it right, you will win a prize. See you next week.